I read over 1,000 personal statements every year, and let me tell you this, I do not take into account extracurricular activities when making academic assessments of candidates for admission to Gonville and Keys and Cambridge. Many of the personal statements I read do not mention any extracurricular activities or interests whatsoever. Some of them have a couple of sentences and very little more about extracurricular activities. I know that section 3 of the new UCAS personal statement asks you to talk about what you've done outside of education and how you found that useful. I would encourage you not to take that as a prompt to talk at length about extracurricular activities. I stress again that I do not consider them when assessing applicants to Cambridge. At Cambridge, what we want to see in personal statements is your supercurricular interest, your academic interest beyond the school curriculum, how you have cultivated that, and what you thought about what you've been reading, listening to, watching, and so on. We don't care what section that information goes in. It can go in section 3, 1, or 2. Just make sure it's in there somewhere. If you're someone without many formal extracurricular interests, I really don't want you to worry and think that that is a problem for a Cambridge application, or spend lots of time prioritizing that at the expense of academic exploration and other preparation for a Cambridge and university application. Equally, if you're someone with loads of formal extracurricular interests, please don't fill up your personal statement with lots of detail about those at the expense of talking about your academic interests. That is what we want to see. Why don't we take extracurricular activities like sport and music and drama and anything else into account when making our academic assessments? Well, the answer is really implicit in the question. We are making an academic assessment. We are looking for candidates with the most academic potential, irrespective of background. And a candidate's being very good at football or violin or whatever it might be is not affecting and does not contribute to that academic potential. Sometimes people might think when applying to a college that that college is going to be on the lookout for good sports people or good singers or whatever else it might be. Now, colleges end up with lots of amazingly talented people in loads of different ways beyond the academic. Cambridge is full of immensely talented people who engage in all sorts of ways beyond their studies. And it is really important for me to emphasize that we're not saying extracurriculars are a bad thing to do, right? Please do carry on with them. However, colleges are not looking for that when making their academic assessments, and it is not going to make one jot of difference to your application that you might come in and be a very good footballer or tennis player or whatever else for the college. Spending time and energy cultivating interests outside of your studies is obviously a great thing to do, and lots of Cambridge students do that. However, we just don't take that into account when making our academic assessment of who is a candidate with the most potential to thrive here in Cambridge.